How's everybody doing? I, I, I guess. Thank you, Joe. Uh, I seem to do that probably 50% of the time. All right, I'll go through that whole spiel again. Thank you for stopping by. Um, I just we've been getting a lot of questions, so I figured we would do a live Q&A, and we can go over to the lathe if you have any other questions on about actually like turning something. I could do that too. Um, I hope everybody's having a good start to the new year. I was on Jake from Northside Custom Crafts, their Patreon show this morning. They made some bottle stopper blanks and some pin blanks, so I had a good time on that. Um, yeah, if you have any questions, just put them up in the chat. And like always, Robin is on the phone with me, so she will relay those to me. The screen is too far away for me to see them. Um, so yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. Robin said as I was walking in here, there's a question about the yo-yo I made. Um, so I don't still have that. I gave that away, but I believe the diameter was 2.5 inches. So they're about 3/4 of an inch thick each side of it, and then the diameter is 2.5 inches around. And then yeah, then you just put the dowel in the center. But yeah, that was a long time ago. I can't remember. We did that for the scrap wood challenge, I think, quite a few years ago. That took me back a little bit. Um, yeah, if you yeah, just any questions you have, just throw them up there in the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer them. I have a blank here that actually need to turn. So Jake made us some bottle stopper blanks. So these are resin wood with a like strip of aluminum honeycomb in it. So it kind of bows up in there. So when then you turn it, it shows in different spots. So I need to get that turned so we can get those up on the Niles website. Um, yeah, yeah. I hope everybody's doing well. And if I don't hear any questions, I'm just gonna turn the stopper blank because I need to get that done anyway. All right. Hi everybody. Yeah, we'll just play around, just have some fun. Um, yeah, we had a great year with Niles last year, so thank you so much to everybody. We really appreciate that, and we put out a newsletter a couple days ago, just thanking everybody for supporting us and all the Roots customers that came over and all the new people that have joined in. So we really appreciate that. What is the advantage of sanding with oil? So the biggest advantage is it cuts down all the sanding dust. So all that fine dust that you get when you're sanding, even with the dust collector on, there's still a bunch of that fine dust that goes into the air. So if you sand with the oil, there's no dust. The oil traps all of that dust. It also lubricates the sandpaper and it makes it last longer, and it doesn't heat the wood up. So when you turn a piece of wood, it, even if it's dry wood, it heats it up, and that the heating it up can make it warp or crack. It just puts a lot of stress on the wood, and that heat actually creates a little bit of moisture. So if you can just keep it nice and cool, the oil, it just works fantastic. I've been wet sanding for, oh man, probably 10 years now, maybe longer. I started out using like a paste wax and mineral oil, and then I messed around with a couple different things, and finally settled on the walnut oil. But it's a little bit messy, but you just turn the lathe speed down, when you're sanding anyway, and it really does. I like that satin finish, so it's actually putting the finish on it while you're sanding too. So it's a win-win. Kevin asked, "How do you make the ingrain smooth?" So it's just as far as like any cut, not just ingrain, Kevin. It's when you're cleaning or like roughing something up, you can just pretty much rough it up as fast as you want. It really doesn't matter whether you're cleaning out a bowl or turning a lidded box. Is you just get it down to the diameter you want. It's just those last couple of passes with your tool. It doesn't matter whether you're using the Easy Wood carbide or regular gouges. It's those last couple of cuts that matter. So you make sure that your bevel is riding on the tool. So when I say that, if you're just starting out, this right here is the bevel of your tool. So you have a piece of wood here on the lathe. You want that bevel riding on the tool or riding against the tool like that. And then you lift the handle up slightly to where it starts to cut. So you're supporting the cut underneath it with the bevel of the tool. And it's just those last few passes are what you'll get a nice clean cut with it. A lot of times in some of the videos, you'll just see me kind of just going at it and not caring about what, what it looks like. It's because it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether there's torn grain or anything until you get to the point where you're down to the finished size. And that's when I'm going to say like the last 3 or 4 cuts. That's when you need to take it nice and slow, ride the bevel of the tool, just nice, clean, smooth cut as long as you can, get it all the way around there. So end grain's kind of tough too. It tends to tear out a little bit, but just if you can keep that bevel riding along it, that's the best thing you can do. All right. What is the favorite thing I've turned? So, oh man, there is a lot of them. I I don't know if there's I really like the Millennium Falcon, and things like that, projects like that. I turned that urn quite a while ago where I took it was I carved out almost looked like a kind of like a Viking horn, and it went through the urn. I really like that one. That was an interesting project, and just making it all fit together, and the actual horn part of it I had a base on it, and then the horn came up and went through the center of it, and then came out the other side. So that was a fun one. I like doing projects like that where just a lot of times like multiple pieces to make something work. Yeah, just I don't know, and as far as pretty wood, I like maple burl. I like burl. I like that just that look of it. It's not just straight grain. It's got a lot of character to it. I love the pieces with like that. And there's lidded boxes and stuff that I've done too that I really like. And it's not maybe the lidded box, but it's the wood is just so beautiful. It just makes the box. Yeah. Do I sharpen my tools? Absolutely. I have a sharpening grinder right here. Actually, you can see it in the camera. Yeah, I have CBM wheels on it. This is a sharpening jig, so the tool goes into that. Show you real quick. And you need to sharpen your tools often. If you're turning a bowl or something, you probably have to sharpen it at least once or twice. So the tool goes in there like that. It goes into a little pocket right there like that, and then it holds it up there at the right angle so that that bevel is the same every time. The angle of the tool. So a sharpening system is ideal. It just speeds up the whole process, and you get the same grind every time. It's not because when you change the bevel of that, like every time, it not only just you're grinding away all the good steel, it's creating a different angle that you have to hold the tool at. So if you can set it up on there and just turn the grinder on, like I turn the grinder on, I probably take 2 passes with it and I'm done. It's sharp again, and you can go right back to turning. It's well worth it to get a sharpening system. So you can do that. Yeah. Connie, do I have the first thing I ever turned? No, Connie, I am still kicking myself in the butt for that one. Um, it, I would just kind of okay, the whole story. I wish I did because I would love to just have it on a shelf here because it was so hideous and so bad that I would, you have new turners out there that are turning just awesome little things their first time on the lathe, and it was just so bad. I wish I could show you that so that I think it was like a little bowl or a cup or something. And I started out, I didn't even have a lathe. The dryer in the house broke, so I pulled the motor out of it, and I worked for a Freightliner, and I had them make me a little. They turned a faceplate for me in the machine shop, and I screwed a little piece of wood to it, stuck it on that motor. I didn't even have a tool rest. I used a 4x4 for the tool rest. I don't know. I played around with that for a month or two, and then I found lathe in the paper and started turning. But I wish I had all those little pieces. I just threw them in the fire and burned them. But I wish I had them just so I could, you know, show everybody, how bad it was in the beginning because they were hideous. Uh, how good is Easy Wood Tools on soft or wet wood? Wet wood, they're fantastic. They work just like on dry wood. Soft wood, I would go with a gouge. So there's just certain because it kind of is a scraper. It just does not do well. It would be like taking your regular scraper like that and using it on softwood. It doesn't work well. You just don't get a clean cut with it. But on greenwood, I use it all the time, and it works great. Yeah. What's Kevin asked? What's the best way to finish? What kind of resin was it, Kevin? Oh, just resin in general. So as far as the best way, that I don't know, but um, Zach Higgins and Jake Thompson. Jake might be in the chat too. Um, so I don't know. I don't turn a ton of resin like they do. So I, here's what I do. But like I know Jake and Zach both use like buffing wheels to polish stuff up afterwards. Um, but I turn it, I sand it, wet sand it up to 600 with the. I'm gonna have to pick all those up. With the Abernet sandpaper, I sand it up to 600, wet sand it. Then I go through the micro mesh pads up to 12,000. And then after that, I put a coat of Pins Plus on it. And it gives it a nice shine, but I'm sure that there's better ways to do it. I've used the Yorkshire grit; it works fantastic. I've used both the regular and the microfine paste. I've used a buffing wheel a few times. I just don't do a ton of resin, but I've used it a couple times, and I have because I don't use it all the time. I have a hard time getting it all even. It's just I always like go around the piece and half of it looks great and the other half's a little cloudy and I keep keep going around. But I know like Zach does it all the time too. So maybe and he's live. Zach is live every Wednesday and Jake is live every Saturday. So they would be the ones to ask about that. The Robin said ask about that. Yeah, use the Pins Plus on it. Um, yeah, and that works. I don't have anything out here right now, but as far as going through to the 12,000 on the micro mesh and the doctors, it puts a really nice shine on it. So I'm pretty happy with that. Chris, how old was I when I started turning? I was in mid 20s. I'm going to say 26, I think. Um, so, and I'm 54 now, coming up on 55. Ouch, right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was, I believe it was 26. Yeah, yeah, been a long time. Linda, they're not. Linda wanted to know how you decide. So, when you to start selling your stuff, you know what? It's I don't. So like I said, I made some hideous stuff, and I did the same thing, and then it started stacking up, so I started giving it away to family members, and they are all in awe of whatever it is you make. So I know what you're talking about there. Um, I don't know. I don't know at what point I just decided, and it was maybe just me. I guess you're the pickiest person out there. Is like there's there's stuff I make all the time, like in a video or something, and most of the stuff we do in the videos, it's the first time I've ever done it. So I don't put it up for sale because I don't like it. I mean, not that I don't like it, but it's not good, perfect, and I don't want to throw it out there for sale and then somebody buy it and go, "Hey, this is yeah, not perfect or anything." So you're your worst critic, or yeah, your worst critic. But at some point, I just decided that I liked the boxes enough that I was willing to. I packed up a little case. I had this case with all these little foam spots in it. I put all my lidded boxes into it, and went to a gallery down in Ashland, Oregon, down near the California border. I walked in, asked for the owner, and he came out. I opened up my little case, and he said, "Absolutely, we'd love to sell your stuff." So I walked out there with a giant smile on my face, and he's until they closed down, he sold pieces of mine at the gallery for I'm going to say 4 or 5 years. And he would just call every once in a while and said, "We're getting low on boxes," or whatever it was. Yeah, I made quite a few different things for him. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think you kind of know when you're happy with it, and that's probably if you're happy with it, it's probably good to go. Dan, do we have any special? Oh, dances with our aardvarks. I thought Robin said Dan. Do we have any special projects? We have a couple of them, but I can't remember. We wrote them down. We have a couple things that we're working on doing, but I can't. I don't. There's nothing specific that's popping in my mind. Yeah, we just kind of try and come up with a project and just run from there. It's we kind of it kind of like morphs a little bit too. Sometimes we'll come up with doing something, and then after we get out here turning it, it just maybe doesn't look quite right, so we'll change it a little bit and do that. But yeah, nothing major special that's coming up that I can think of. Have I ever produced a turning that I thought was perfect? Never, not once. there's there are pieces that I love that I absolutely love, but I don't think any of them I think are perfect. I mean there's a lot of stuff that I really like, and we go right in the house, take pictures of it, and put it up for sale because it's like this is cool, and somebody else will think it's really cool too. But nothing that I think is you know there always could have been some little thing that you could fix on it. So that's probably yeah yeah. Uh, okay, hang on. Robin was reading that one to me. As far as in the inside of the bowl, doing it's like the tool's like bouncing a little bit. I think that's what he meant. Yeah, it might be the grind on your bowl gouge. So it's So there are different grinds on the bowl gouge. So it depends. So it completely depends. Like if you have a bowl where the sides go like straight down and then it just cuts right in. There's to get around that corner, you need a different grind on it than like an Ellsworth grind that like I have on this one. It's but if you have a bowl that's just nice and smooth and just goes right down to the bottom, you can use that tool right there to get to cut all the way down to the bottom. So it might just depend on the shape of it too. So if and another thing is too, if you like your tool rest, so like this is the rim of the bowl here and your tool rest is way out here. As you go in, the deeper you go in, the more your tool's hanging out over the side. So you need to turn that tool rest and put it inside the bowl so that the tool's supported and it's not hanging out there bouncing around. So take don't put your tool rest, like that, and this is the rim of your bowl, and try and hollow out and try and finish the back of the bowl way back here. Turn that thing to the side and stick it right in there just past the center point, and then that way it's supported better. So that will probably help with it bouncing. If that was your question, I'm not sure what riddled meant. What is the easiest way to learn your tools from turning? There's only one answer: to turn. It's just practice. That's You just need to get out there and actually use the tools. Obviously, you get pointers from people on how to hold it, how to ride the bevel, how to stand, stuff like that. But you need to get out there and turn. You're you can watch videos all day long. It isn't going to teach you how your tool works or how it cuts. You need to get out there and put a piece of wood on the lathe and start turning. It really there going to like a club and getting a mentor to help you, that is fantastic, and it will help speed up the whole process. But you need to have the tool in your hand and making stuff. As Christian didn't sell anything. I'm sorry. So as far as sales go, I used to do them too, and they're tough. they're I mean, you'd sit there all day long and sell one or two things. I think probably the biggest suggestion is having a variety of stuff. Um, if you go and it depends on the show too. So like if you're doing an art show, like for there's a couple of them like around town. The art gallery will do during the summer. They open up like the lawn and have people come in and sell their stuff. But you can sell a $300 bowl at one of those. But if you go to like a Christmas craft show, the chances of selling expensive items are very slim. So it's having a variety of things, impulse items that are 20, $30 is because there's a lot of people that come up and love the bowl that you made for 300, but they can't afford it, or they don't have anybody give it to, or they don't need it, but they're already in your booth. And if there's a bottle opener or something like that for $30, they'll buy that because they appreciate your work. They're talking to you. So just having a variety of stuff is probably the best way to go. And it's display too. Having things, the display in your booth is super important. Don't pack it full of too much stuff. It's like we have the Niles, we have the bottle openers, and they're super unique. But you see one, and I don't have one out here, but most people don't even know what it is. They can't figure out what it is. How in the world would that thing open up a bottle? So a lot of the people that sell those at shows, they have picture, or they'll have some sort of hook to get people into the booth, like signs like, I bet you can't guess what this is, that kind of thing. It gets the conversation going. You start talking to people, and that you create that connection is really the most important thing. Yeah. What gimmicky tool have I purchased that I wish I hadn't? Oh, I don't know. I'm looking around trying to figure. Oh, they. I probably can't see them because they're covered in dust, right? um, I don't know off the top of my head. It was probably a long time ago. I'm looking around. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. All right, you want to move on from carbide and start using gouges. As far as sharpening jig, so I would recommend there's a Wolverine sharpening system and there's a Kodiak sharpening system. And so I've used both of those, and I know there's some other types out there. I've just never used those, and they might work really well. But both of those systems allow you to just lock the tool in the same position every single time. They both have a little tool looks like this, that those both go into a little pocket on the grinder. It tips right over. The Wolverine or the Kodiak one, this one has like presets on it for different angles, so you don't even have to think about it. The Wolverine one, same setup, but you have to tip the tool over a little bit. And so what I do is take a Sharpie. When I had that one, you would take a Sharpie and just draw it down the bevel there, and then hold it up against the tool, and then turn this by hand. And as soon as the Sharpie was, it cut all the way down, you'd lock it all down and turn it. And it's pretty. It sounds more complicated than it is. It takes a couple seconds, but a sharpening system like that, it will save you just money on tools because you won't be grinding away good steel, and it speeds up the whole process too. They work, both of them. I've used both of them for years now, and they work great. And the difference is in wheels is, so the CBN wheels, you can use the aluminum oxide wheels, but they wear down. So the diameter of them are always going down. On the CBN wheels, they are expensive, but they never wear out. They never change. The diameter never changes. It's a one-time purchase thing. I use them for all sorts of stuff. I sharpen my tool, mostly with this one. This one here, I grind down all threaded rod for the drawbars we sell on Niles. That's what I use that one for, and it's still perfect. So it's a one-time purchase, and you won't have to worry about the diameter changing or anything, or replacing them. Yes, Rick. Yes. Robust does. They have some curved bull ones. I have a couple of those too. And yeah, as far as getting in there so you don't get any chatter on the inside of the thing, I don't see one. I keep looking around. I can't find anything that have been talking about. But yes, they have curved ones. They have like a J one for doing lidded boxes and things. They actually have so they have tool rest that curves out too, so that you put it up there, and if you're doing a bowl, it goes around the outside of the bowl. So they have that. They have one that goes on the inside of a bowl. A bunch of different ones. For the closer you can keep your tool to the workpiece. So just stay back, an inch or so from the work, but the closer you keep that tool rest up there, the more supported the tool is, and the less vibration or chatter, and the cleaner the cut's going to be. So like when I'm turning something, I have a bowl or something on there. I start out there. As it gets round, I stop the lathe and I move the tool rest up. I keep moving it up as I'm turning it, and that just creates a cleaner cut. So yeah, a lot of times, like in the videos, I guess I don't stop and show you that I'm moving it up all the time, but I'm slowly moving that tool rust up as the piece is getting smaller. Yeah. What wheels do I have on the Kodiak? Let's see. This one right here is a 600 grit. And I believe this one and this one is an 80. So it's this one I just do use with the my tools, just cleans them right back up for turning, sharpens them right back up. This one here, so you can buy them in like sets, but this one is for like regrinding. It's for regrinding your bevel or your angle or anything, so you regrind it with that one. But I don't do that. The tools I have came with Thompson tools come with the grind already on them, so all you have to do is just keep sharpening them at that angle, and they'll stay that way. Yeah. All right. Robin's. I can hear Robin humming. She's looking for another question. Oh. So what's everybody been working on? Anybody got any projects they've been working on? It's winter, it's woodworking season. We're in the heart of woodworking season right now. Heather got a 180. Nice, nice. That's perfect. Yeah, the CBN they really do. They were big game changer from those other ones, and they do create a little bit of dust because you're grinding away steel, but it's just minimal amount especially compared to the white, like the aluminum oxide wheels. They was just a mess. You had to have its own dust collector, for those wheels because it's just giant cloud, and who knows what that stuff's actually made of. But yeah, it was a mess. Big difference with the CBN. Do I do any coring? No, I don't. I would love to get a corer. I don't. I just don't do enough of it to justify buying it. And I know if I did bowls, even if I did 20 or 30 of them a year, it would pay for itself. But I just don't. I don't do that. I probably do two or three a year, maybe. So I know there's a McNaughton one, and then I believe there's a one-way system. And there might be another one out there too. But I've talked to people that I was actually like looking into it a few years ago, and I talked to people who use both of them, and they like both of them. I don't know if one's better than the other one. I think the one-way one was a little bit more expensive. Like you had to buy the system, and then you bought all the knives separately. But I don't know, you know, if you're only doing like, mostly 10 and 20-inch bowls, you probably only have to buy the two knives instead of buying all of it. But I think the McNaughton one came with everything, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, if you do a lot of bowls, it's definitely worth the money. It will pay for itself quickly because every bowl blank you can get, two or three bowls out of it instead of just one. So definitely a good investment if that's what the kind of stuff you like to turn. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. In fact, a buddy of mine in Utah, I believe he has, I can't remember which one Kevin has. I think it's a McNaughton one, but he really likes it too. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Good to see you, SWAT. You still, we need to kick you in the butt. You need to get that video out. It's been too long. Let me know. Shoot me a message when you got it up. Nice, Chris. Nice. That would be cool. You doing drawers in the desks and everything, or cabinets? No. Yeah. Yeah. Nice, Chris. Yes, Mike. Well, we'll see you at the AAW. Hope you better have the video out by by then. Yeah, we got the Oregon Symposium coming up here in March, so we'll be at that. And it's just about an hour away from us in Albany, so we'll be at that one, and then we'll be at the AAW and SWAT again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jamie, you shouldn't read any of Jamie's questions. I I'm not sure, Jamie, but I believe the 7-year warranty has run out on me. I think I've had it for over 7 years. I didn't have to use the warranty one time. Not one thing broke on it. But I think I'm past my deadline. Oh, Chris, all right. You got to do some drawers. Put some drawers. Yeah. Mike, no, we won't be. We can't shut the website down and go to. We can't do many of them. So yeah, we won't be in Florida or Tennessee. Yeah, we're just kind of focusing on Niles and doing. Have a bunch of RID demos coming up and stuff, but nothing. Not going to any of the other symposium. Yeah, yeah. Yep. So yeah, we just we keep getting asked to come to a bunch of them, but we just can't do it because it's as far as like shipping everything and it's a week trip no matter what. Just getting everything back there and set up and flying over and all of that. But yeah. What RPMs to turn on the lathe? That So, as far as turning things on the lathe, so I don't even know if they do it anymore, but years ago there was like a chart and it said, and I don't even know because I never paid attention to it, but they had like a chart. So if it was like a 6-inch bowl, you could turn it at 1200 RPMs. And if it was a 10-inch bowl, you could turn it at, you know, 1,000 RPMs. But it does not matter that because every piece of wood is different. And if you can have a 6-inch bowl blow apart on you at 500 RPMs if it has a big crack in it, and you can have a 20-inch bowl on there and you can turn it at 1200 RPMs and it come out just fine if it's a nice piece of wood. So the RPMs as far as a specific size doesn't matter. If it's a good piece of clean wet wood, I usually turn it at least 1,000 RPMs. It's the wood comes off there nice. I don't really turn stuff slow. I like to crank the speed up on it, but it totally depends on the piece of wood. I mean, sometimes I'll have something on there that's out of balance a little bit, or does have some cracks in it, so I will drop the RPMs down to 800 or something, and stay out of the line of fire. Yeah, danger zone. Yeah, always try and stay out of the danger zone. Which size beating tool do I use the most? Linda asked that. Yeah, Linda, hang on. Let's grab a tape measure because this is the one I use all the time. I have a couple. I think when I got them, it was a set of two or three, and I've only used the other one like one or two times. This is the one I use, and I believe it is 3/16, but let's make sure. Yeah, I think they have. You can buy like a set of them. So it is, yes, it's 3/16. So that is the one. So like all of the videos I've done doing basket illusion or beaded boxes or anything, it's that tool right there, 3/16. And it doesn't say it on it. But yeah. Yeah, that's the one I use. It's just a nice size bead. The other one I have is smaller. So I in fact I used the smaller one just a couple weeks ago on something, but yeah, I don't use it very often. It's a nice size for lidded boxes, things like that, like even like bottle stoppers or bottle openers. It's just a nice size bead. But there's a bunch of different sizes too. I Jamie said I gave him a tool. Oh, that's right, I did. I did give you those old beading tools I had, Jamie, and you're still not nice to me. Huh, not cool. Which do I recommend? As far as Easy Wood Carbide or gouges, so it to a new turner, um, honestly, I would go with the carbide if you're just starting out, and the reason is I use both of them all the time. I'll be doing turning a lid of box, and I go back and forth between the gouges and the carbide. But if you're a new turner, the carbide is so much easier to learn how to use, and you can start making stuff that you're happy with right off the bat. It's you don't need the grinder, you because even if you have the grinder and the jig and everything, there's a whole little learning curve to setting that thing up. I mean, to making sure it's right every time, and then figuring out how to hold the tool is another thing. And as far as like with spindle gouge going around the corner or something, it's that you need to learn how to do that. It's not just like the easy with the carbide easy wood. You can just like go around the corner of something, and it cuts the same all the way around the corner. It's not like that with the gouge. You need to learn how to hold it. When you're going around the corner of a bowl, you need to learn how to turn it over as you're going around, and you're pushing in at the same time. So there's a whole learning curve with it. With the carbide, it's you can take somebody that's never even seen a lathe before, and they can walk out of there with a bottle stopper or a pin in 20 minutes. So that's why I recommend it. And it's an easier learning curve to get them started. And that way they're not going to be frustrated with it. And so like if you come out here, don't know how to sharpen, don't know how to hold the tool, you're going to get frustrated right off the bat because you got a big catch or it's not a clean cut and you can't figure out how to hold it right and it's just like making sawdust. So with and then if you want to move on to gouges, you can move on to gouges, but you already have the basis. You know what basically how the lathe works, all of that, and then you can start with that. They didn't have the carbide around when I started, so I started out with gouges. It was it was super frustrating. I didn't. They didn't. This is gonna date me right here. They didn't have YouTube. Nobody knew what the YouTube was. So I basically looked at books and tried to figure out how to sharpen the tools. And I remember when I first figured out how to get the tool sharp, I come over back over to my little Craftsman lathe and like shavings start flying off of it. And I'm thinking, what happened? How did, this is awesome. What did I do? And before that, it was just making sawdust, on the lathe. And every once in a while it would cut right. But I mean, if it's not something you're like really into and you really want to make it work, you'll just get frustrated with it. And I really wanted to do it, and I was still frustrated with it. So, uh, Byron, the playing cards. So they will melt. He used the playing cards to burn the grooves like in between the beads. So they do melt. I don't have any melted ones here, but as they're burning, so you just hold it on there until it starts smoking, and then when you pull it away, there'll be a cutaway in the card where it melted it, but it should leave a black mark on there. You just hold it on there until the smoke starts. But they melt them. That's why, like bought a whole deck, and I don't know, maybe there's 15 of them left because they go pretty quick. And I just take a few of them. I think it's usually about three. I, press it into a groove. It'll burn away that side and move it to the other side. I just keep going around till all four sides are done. And I pitch them all in the garbage. But it melts them. Just hold it on there till the smoke comes, and you're good to go. Oh, nice, Mike. Nice. Look forward to it. Yeah. It's my magic trick. See, the guy that I gave my old beading tools to, I, I don't have any magic tricks. Oh, you know what? I do have a magic trick. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe it would work, but I've never done it with one. I usually do two or three. Okay. Stainless wires. I don't know. I think these are stainless and they smoke. Well, wait, hang on a sec. These are guitar strings. Are they guitar strings stainless? I don't know, but they smoke. These are a wire burner. Okay, hang on. Jamie, here's my magic trick, okay? I'm gonna mix all these cards up. And this is gonna shock you right here. Okay. Okay, three of hearts, six of hearts, seven of hearts. How was that done? Right there. This blew your mind. All right. Yeah, try it with a couple different cards. Or a couple of cards. It should work good. Spring steel. Okay. Well then, the spring steel I think is the way to go. So the stainless wouldn't heat them up and smoke at all. Huh? Yeah, I don't think I've ever tried it with stainless wire. Oh, oak is hard to burn lines. Yeah, I don't know if I've tried them. I don't turn much oak. I'm not a fan of oak. Um, yeah, I think I grew up with too many oak kitchen cabinets, and I've never been a fan of it. There is some oak burl and stuff out there, but most of it, yeah, it just has no character. Need, in fact, our kitchen cabinets are oak, and we painted them because I couldn't take it. Uh, yeah, Robin just said they look so much better. Yeah, uh, yeah, oak's a good hardwood. It is excellent wood for burning, for firewood. It's a nice hardwood. Um, yeah, so some of it has some character, and just, um, but yeah, I like burl. Oh, the stainless wires do work to speed it up. Yeah, I think when I'm burning the lines, I think I probably have laid at 1,000 RPMs to or more. That way, it just doesn't take very long. I wonder if the stainless grabs a little bit more than regular wires. Yeah, the burning walnut. Yeah, it's walnut's pretty soft. I know it's like a hardwood, but it's like one of the softer hardwoods too. Right? We just have to erase the 70s. Yeah. Without oak and cinder blocks for your TV stand, the 70s would be just a wash. Hey Glenn, how you doing? We're trying to figure out different ways to pick on Jamie. Oh, yeah. All right. All right. Well, what do we do? How we doing on time? Is there any more questions? All right. All right. Um, no, I don't. Robin just asked me if I want to turn this bottle stopper. I really don't. Just want to get it done. Um, so um, I would rather get it done because I have to get it up because Jake just did another the stream on there, so we need to get it on the website. Um, but if does anybody have any other questions? Ja- Jamie is referring to Jake's resin blanks. That's the one I was showing you earlier. They are awesome. He makes a bunch of colors for us, and this is a new one. So we messaged Jake, and he has some of these but different colors in it on his website. And so I messaged him. I go, hey Jake, can you make it the same style with the wood and the aluminum, but can you do them in fall colors? Guess what he? Here's what he writes back. What are fall colors? Like he lives in Texas. I go, fall colors, like the turning of the leaves, like oranges and reds and yellows. We don't have trees in Texas. I go, anyway, can you make some orange and yellow and red blanks? No trees. It's just a barren wasteland. I've been to Texas, Jake. You got a couple of trees. Apparently, there's no leaves on them that change, though. Yeah. So, oh, thank you so much. Well, congratulations. That is awesome. That's Eric. It's such a great hobby. It keeps you busy, and it really just it's so relaxing. I mean, I love coming out here and whenever I can just turn something. I love that whole feeling of it too. That's awesome. That is awesome. Congratulations. Very cool. Are the Mike asked, are the negative rake better for turning resin? So yes, absolutely, like 100%. It's the regular cutters will catch on you and chip. So before they came out with the negative rake, I would like hold the tool. Oh, so it would be on the lathe like this. I would hold the tool down like this to kind of try and create a negative rake as it's spinning here. Because if you just hold it straight in there, it'll cut great for a little while, and then it'll big catch, and it just like little shards of resin go flying everywhere like glass. So the negative rake is fantastic. It eliminates that, and you can hold it flat and cut. Oh, I need some apple cider. How about a cough drop? I would just take a cough drop. Apple cider, like like apple cider vinegar. Oh, like hot apple cider. Oh, yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. I'll take one of those Hall's mint eucalyptus. Just a Hall. I think Robin's bringing me a Hall. She's going to throw me a Hall's Mentaliptus. Look at that. Boom. That is service right there. Hall's Mentaliptus. Now it's going to sound like I've got rocks in my mouth. All better, right? Yeah, the negative rake are great. A big game changer as far as turning resin. Are the burls over here as expensive as they are in Germany? I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you got Germany's full of trees. I'm sure you guys got burls over there. But they are expensive. It depends on where you're at in the country, though, too. We're in Oregon. I could like walk down the street and pick them up. They're everywhere. Just people, anytime a tree falls, people want it out of their yard. They're Oregon is full of trees and maple burl, so it's not expensive here if you're willing to just go out and get it. But if you live like in Texas where there's nothing, um, you gotta pay to have it shipped there. Yeah, like this little blank right there, Jake. There's little bits of burl in there. I don't have another one, but there's little chunks of burl in there, and he buys that from a guy right down right down the road from me in Oregon because they don't have any have any there. Um, yeah, it just depends on where you're at. Yeah, my boy's in Florida, and he told me he went into a wood shop the other day, and I can't remember what it was. It was like $1,600 for this burl cap or something. And I go, I will load up the truck and be there. We can set up a roadside shop. Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't have it in your area, it's expensive, and then you have to have it shipped there too. So, Worldwide Bro, yes, it's awesome, awesome stuff. Yeah, he does. And just a great guy. In fact, we just went down there and got something. We had to make it earn for a family member, and maybe I do need some apple cider vinegar. Yeah, it's a it's a shop, so it's dusty. But yeah, we just went down and got a piece of burl from him the other day. Um, but yeah, he does auctions all I think every day on Instagram. Yeah, yeah, and then he just ships it right to you. Have I ever turned magnolia seed pods? I don't believe so. I've turned the Banksia pods before. Those little Banksia pods. I've turned those. Um, there's a little one. I can't remember what those are too. Yeah, not magnolia. Are they white on the inside? That would probably look really cool, like kind of like an ivory. We do have a magnolia tree, but I think it's got a few years before it's going to have seed pods. I don't think it had any seed pods last year, did it, Robin? Did the magnolia tree have any seed pods? Yeah, it's going to be a few years before we get any seed pods from it. Oh, I'm a big fan of the Instagram. The Instagrammer. They're fighting in the chat about Instagram. And Jamie, like, why why does he guy exaggerate my age? He's like my kid's age. And it's funny because my boy always picks on me about being old too. Huh? Weird. I'm still looking around the shop trying to figure out a tool that I bought that I shouldn't have. So I did buy one. It was like this thing for making circles or something, but I like repurposed it like right after I bought it. I bought it for doing angles and something, but it was then I realized I didn't really need it. And I repurposed it, but I actually use it all the time. I'm looking around for stuff. I got a lot of my tools, like my old hand tools and stuff like that, from my grandpa. So it wasn't. He has a couple of them that I, but they were bought in the '60s, so there probably wasn't a whole lot of options out there. Yeah, the '50s or '60s. So, but yeah, the old ones I have, my grandpa's, I just have them up on the wall there. But they're like, just saws and squares and stuff like that. Right? Mark, you need every tool. Even if you never use it, it looks cool hanging on the wall. I mean, so when somebody walks in here, they go, "Wow, that guy knows what he's doing." I mean, and that's half the battle. If you look like you know what you're doing, you're all good. Oh yeah, Jamie got me this little scroll saw for my birthday, and I cut myself on it. And it should be in the bottom of a lake somewhere. It's very dangerous. Well, we do use it every once in a while. I've never actually done. We use it, but we use it to like cut up like paint chips for keychains and like little. I don't know. I've cut out like little things like I think when I was doing the like female form and stuff. I think I cut out the arms or something on it or the fingers, but I've never actually like made a scroll saw like a tiger or something. I've never done one of those. Yeah, yeah. Robin says like sewing. Yeah, yeah. I have to take the blade in and out for all the little holes. I've never done. I just I got it, put it down, and started making keychains with it, and then cut my. Is the scroll saw the safest power tool in the shop? Um, yeah, it is. I don't know. It's hard to hurt yourself on it, but it still has a blade. Hammer, I think. Hammer's probably the most dangerous tool in the shop. More people probably hit themselves with a hammer than any other tool. Um, tape measure, that's a safe tool. Screwdriver, pencil. Yeah. Yes, Mark. Amen, brother. Amen. Yeah. Scroll saw. The scroll saw. What's that for? That's what lasers are for, right? Yeah. You got this. this he's got to move out of the '70s. We got lasers now that do all that. Yeah. Yeah, the scroll saw's been around. I wonder how long that thing's been around. Well, they had the ones you used to pump with your foot, probably before that. Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm still looking around for like a totally useless tool, and I don't see anything. Yeah, because I don't like, I don't know, I guess just run out and buy stuff. I mean, unless I like really need it. But I mean, I'm sure there's some stuff around here that I've needed for a job and I used it for like that job. And maybe, one other time. Um, yeah, I'm sure there's a couple of those somewhere in a drawer somewhere that I can't see. Probably. Everything that's out in sight, I use all the time. Do I have any turning tools that I probably do have a couple turning tools that probably gave away or something that I didn't really need. Hey Bruce, how's it going? Oh, you missed the fun. All the band already left. Yeah, Bruce is late. You just missed it. We had Metallica here. It was horrible, but you missed them. Missed them. Oh, how's it going, brother? Bruce was just in. We just put out a newsletter a couple of days ago. Bruce was our featured artist in it. Yeah, so that was awesome. Thank you, brother. Yeah, we do a newsletter, and so this year our whole New Year's resolution is we're gonna get back on track. We'll be doing a newsletter for Niles every two a month, so we'll get all that lined back up. And buddy ours, Michael's helping us with that. So yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, Bruce. It was awesome. So we're gonna be getting all that on track. Uh, yeah, I think yeah, we got some new as far as Niles goes. We got the new products coming out too. We just in the last I don't know 4 or 5 months introduced a new stopper, the one that Robin designed, and then the threaded inserts, or we got a different size of those coming out too. But yeah, just trying to get everything lined back up. And Robin's laughing again. What, Jamie? Isn't that what you do? You talk about stuff you don't like, so that people stop pushing it on you, like beer. I hate beer, so I talk about it all the time. Uh, And Metallica. That would be like a horrible evening out at the bar, drinking beer or watching Metallica. Oh, Byron, thank you. We will get those up on the website in the gallery. Thanks. Yeah, and anybody else? Yes, if you're making anything, we can post it on the gallery page on the website. We got bottle stoppers, openers, pizza cutters, pendants. We'll get that up on there, Byron. Um, yeah, we love posting your guys' work on there. We have a Roots started it years ago, and there's a huge gallery page on there with thousands of pictures from, and then they're kind of broken up into like glass artist, wood, um, the joiner jig, you know, all sort, kitchen related stuff. Yeah, so it's a lot of great ideas. Oh, what was the motivation of the new bottle stopper design? Yeah, Robin. Yeah, I think that's too. She loves that whole like beading thing. So I've been doing a lot of those, and I like doing the basket illusion stuff. So it's kind of like she likes that beaded look, and I like doing the basket illusion. So we did a lot of those projects over the last year or two, and so yeah, the new 7000 just has that beaded look to it. So we really like it. Yeah. No. Have I ever turned any antler? Bruce, I believe I did turn like one piece a long time ago. I've used antlers like in some of the projects I've done, but it stinks really bad. And I know a bunch of people that do turn like pens and stuff out of it, but I don't know if there's a trick to it because it smells bad. Yeah, I used to do a lot of hiking, and I was out in Eastern Oregon one time out in the desert, and I just got up early. It was before sunrise, went out hiking, and I ran across a spot out there, and it's where they shed all the antlers. So I came back to camp, and I'm like walking back like like this. I still have a couple of boxes of them, and it's just like everything from little spikes, to 4 points, and some of them were older. They were already starting to decay, but it was like this spot out there in the middle of the desert where they that's where they shed. That was pretty cool. Yeah. What size on the beads? It's not. Um, I don't have one here. Robin is going to grab one. Hang on. But it's not like it's they're not beads like a beading tool. I mean, they're just kind of it's kind of rippled because the machine that makes them can't do like a bead for a beading tool like this. It can't cut in that sharp. So Robin's grabbing one right now. And we have a tape measure out here. So we'll figure it out. So there it is. You see that? So so the beads on the top of it there, you can see how they go in sharp. It's more of a smooth cut because the CNC lathe that makes those it doesn't cut them as quick. But let me check or cut them as sharp because it can't go in. But I will tell you this is really close to that 3/8. It is really close to it. A little bit smaller. They are a little bit smaller than the actual beading tool, but they don't like penetrate it as far as in the cove as much. But yeah, there they are. Yeah, it's just a cool look, and especially if you do like a beaded top on it like that, it just kind of all flows together because the O-rings are beaded. They're round like that too, so it just nice flow to it. Yeah, we really like those. These are the first ones I made for the website. So Robin, they're up on the mantle in the house. They're keeping these. Yeah, so I don't know exactly, but they're a little bit smaller than the 3/16s, which is kind of perfect because they really do kind of match the beads on the top of it. All right. Um, we we did too. So we had some questions about the off center jig, and so I did because on the website we have like links. They're downloadable links, but I guess it was a little bit confusing. When you get the off center jig, it doesn't come with like all the instructions because there's like pages of instructions. So so I put out a video on the Niles channel explaining where those links were and just a kind of a basic assembly of it too. We did that just yesterday I think. Yeah, we did that. So we're just trying to clear up any confusion about that. Yeah, because that was one of the things people were. One of the guys that just bought one said maybe like put a card in the box, so we did that, which was a great suggestion. So we did that, and then I just made a video yesterday and put it up over there so that might direct people to those links. Oh yeah, and Robin just said, yeah, we put up two of them. Yeah, he actually filmed two of them, and one on the buffing wheel that the buffing system that we have that goes on the lathe. So we did that too, that one too. Yeah, yeah. Busy, busy, busy. Oh, all right. Robin just asked me. She goes, "Do you guys have any project ideas? Anything you would like to see us do? If you have any ideas." Yeah, yeah. Even if you think of a project idea afterwards, leave it in the comments. We read and answer all the comments, and yeah, yeah. All right. Robin's not telling me there's any other questions. So, all right. So, Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. Yeah, and we'll we'll do another Q&A here in a few months, and if you have any other questions, I'm more than happy to. But we'll be back next Friday with a project video, and yeah, yeah. All right. Something not made from walnut and maple. Why would you make it then? Or you want me to make something out of oak? That's not an idea. It's horrible. Walnut and maple, perfect together. Another yo-yo. I haven't done a yo-yo in a long time. A rolling pin? Yeah, yeah. Jamie keeps wanting me to make a clock. Yes. Yeah, and you know what's funny about that is, I don't even know if I ever told you this. It's that's the whole reason I got into wood turning. So I went down to a buddy's house and he had a lathe, but I'd never even played around with it. But the weekend before, he had made a clock and it was out of, and I know this is going to sound horrible, but it was oak and walnut, which anyway, he laminated two pieces of wood together, made this clock. It was a little clock hanging up in his shop there. And I don't know what it was. It just sparked something in me that I went home and ripped that motor out of the dryer and started turning. And I've been turning ever since. Um, so yeah, I guess I shouldn't be so hard on oak or the clock. Necklace and pendants. Yeah, yeah, we could do that. Do something, maybe do like a pendant and a set of earrings or something. Yeah. Yeah, we did, Rick, we did a meat tenderizer mallet not too long ago. I can't remember, I can't remember whether it was a live show or not. But yeah, I made a mallet not too long ago. Robin said, make a long hong? What's a long hong? What's a long hong? I'm not familiar with that woodworking term. Oh, the longhorn. The Yeah, somebody got really upset that I made a cow head, a skull, and now we don't know what to do with it because he was so upset that I didn't know his friend who made them too, or he had some friend. And did Jamie say long hong? Somebody needs to teach that boy English, like English. Thank you. Thanks, Jake. Robin goes, I don't even know if I should say this. Is this appropriate? Long hong? What is that? Longhorn. Jamie. Longhorn. Aluminum. Aluminum. Maybe we should start a whole channel and just do English classes. Long hong. Uh, yeah. All right, guys. Everybody, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for stopping by. We will see you next week. Have a great rest of your weekend. I need to get this thing turned and get it up on the website. All right, guys. If you do have any other suggestions that are not long hongs, put them in the comments. Yeah, we'd love to hear. All right, everybody. Take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye.